Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I appreciate your subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, good thing it's all about your watch time.
So the dude who runs Instagram just pissed off a lot of people with this. Basically, he says that follower count means jack. What actually matters is view count and engagement rate.
Having said that,
I'm winning anyway. I'm winning. I'm winning any motherfucking way. I can't lose.
if you're crew here, well, you already know I got the dopest rhymes. Do remember, sharing is daring to wake a person up out of the matrix. So share this content with those you'd love to see on the other side of this simulation. Now, you know I love it when you hit the like button. Do it for the algo. That way I'll grow. Now let's laugh at this serious.
And it is not only dangerous to those other drivers, but certainly dangerous to this motorcyclist. You know, these cars, the drivers don't know that it's coming up so fast. You can see, wow, that motorcyclist appearing to kind of stand up there on the motorcycle there for a second. But, oh my gosh. We have just seen, we just saw that motorcyclist crash into a...
Why is she smiling? Oh my gosh. Sorry. she was like, oops, did I code switch on camera? Okay. You good, news anchor lady. You stayed very professional on that one.
But notice during the police chase there's people holding signs. How could anyone possibly make a sign that fast off breaking news? Clearly, those signs were made well in advance.
Now check this out right quick. I was like, I think maybe in my late teens, maybe early 20s or something like that. I can't remember when this came out, and this was at the time breaking news. Leave it in the comments if you know what was going on when this was happening. I want to say the Gulf War was popping off, or had popped off, or was finna pop off.
Making the entire event obviously staged.
People have pulled over, many of them carrying signs such as signs reading things like "Save the Juice," "Go OJ." People are literally cheering him on.
This was the best Ford commercial I have ever seen. Isn't it ironic that Ford canceled the Bronco in 1996, and 4 years later they released the Ford Escape?
You got a new Escape!
They also plan to release the new 2021 Bronco on O.J. Simpson's birthday. Ford has decided to move the Bronco reveal to July 13th after they realized, yeah right.
And the Bronco was also heavily rapped about back in them days, along with the Mercedes-Benz, but a lot of people had Broncos in hip-hop culture. If you believe the whole hoax of hip-hop gangster rap being a psyop.
Introducing the return of a legend, the all-new Bronco two-door.
In the home of the movie industry, real-life drama is bigger business than any soap opera today. A village of satellite dishes and broadcast equipment has sprung up around the Los Angeles courthouse to beam the trial of actor and...
Now let's focus on acting. Although they were hired to play the roles, we still see their acting being terrible at times. From smiles to crying, it's all very clear in this day and age.
And this was the start of that whole court TV era. The Menendez brothers, who was really talking about this satanic stuff, and their dad... I'm gonna do a deeper dive on the Menendez brothers, but... Oh, right quick. Nobody sends me clips. I mean, I do have a few people who want to send me clips, but not many for the most part, because I attack this thing like a DJ. Don't all DJs buy the same records? They go to the same record store? You ever been to a party? It's not about the DJ, me being the YouTuber or the DJ, if you will. It's about the mix, your skill. Do you know how to cut and scratch? Do you blend? Can you go from song to song seamlessly? Do you know what party jam to throw on to put people on the floor? Do you know what party jam to put on, for instance, closing time? Closing time. Time to get out, cause we're about to close this place. Have you heard a terrible DJ? Have you heard a corny mixtape that you just threw out of the window? Yeah, it's not about being a creepy talker. It's about what's your style? But I digress. I'll do a deep dive. You guys leave it in the comments if you want to see a deep dive on like the early 90s culture and the hip hop connection and all of that stuff. It might be dope, but I'm not going to do it because it's a lot of research unless y'all leave it. But let's get back to it.
Then gave clues in the media.
The O.J. Simpson murder case was the first true reality show.
a real-life soap opera with a cast of characters who became household names.
Well, really on MTV, The Real World, that was the first real reality show. This was probably the first true crime reality show.
With a cast of characters.
A cast of characters played their part. Lives changed forever, and the trial of the century now cemented in pop culture.
They're all just involved in this psychological operation. Let's take Ron Goldman's alleged girlfriend. Watch as she smiles while trying to act as if she's hurt by the loss. She struggles with tears, fake emotions, no tears.
In the bag's like 50, 60 years old. The person that I was expecting to live with is gone. Like 50, 60 years of my life.
This O.J. Simpson interrogation is one of the most obvious signs of acting, and it's bad acting. Many times when you watch a bad performance, you will see the actor give a general reaction to a very specific set of circumstances. When this happens, it comes off as disingenuous. Watch as O.J. try conveying emotions of shock and nervousness. He does a horrible job.
But then this photo surfaced of Simpson wearing Bruno Mali's shoes 9 months before the murders took place. Look at his reaction when he's called back to give another deposition and is shown the photo.
That is a picture of you looking at Exhibit 1, correct? It appears to be me, yes.
Not to forget Mark, our victim's advocate.
My family cried. We were so stunned. I mean, I at least thought that there was going to be a hung jury. I guess I just still had that hope of it being a hung jury. But
Does that say her filmography is crime defense? What? Okay.
couldn't cry.
Wow.
Because of racism, we should put aside all other thought, all other reason.
Nicole were butchered.
Nicole's former lover, Keith Zlomsowicz.
I can't believe it.
O.J. Simpson mocks the public, and while the masses think O.J. is simply taunting the idea that he got away with double murder, he's really making a joke out of what everyone believes. The joke's on you.
After we finished filming, O.J. said to me that he had a surprise for me, and this is it.
A strategically thought-out script that gathered the emotions of the public. The joke's on you.
Did you do it?
No, I didn't. Nope. Did not do it.
These people are incredibly bold because they have no respect for your intelligence. I bet most top people in Hollywood know of things like the whole Simpson trial being fake. They know because all top actors go through crisis. To be one of the A-listers, you must go to trial. You must go to a celebrity prison. You must look crazy, etc.
It makes no sense. It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
In conclusion, we see that both. We also saw the creation of fake precedent in by judges, further eroding the legal system as a whole. We saw the creation of racial tension to keep blacks and whites looking suspiciously at one another instead. But the main end of this event was misdirection. There were things going on in 1994-95 that they wanted to keep your eyes off. They manufacture big events to keep your eyes off real history happening just beyond your line of sight. If they can keep you watching the circus for more than a year, you will have missed all of their real crimes during that time. While the world was watching Simpson drive around in a white truck and try on gloves, the real world passes by them, keeping everyone living in the Matrix. I started out by reminding you that Simpson was allegedly born in 1947, the year of the CIA. Even now, you probably think that is just a coincidence. It isn't. Since these events are scripted from the ground up, almost nothing in them is a coincidence. They can choose their actors as well as their birth dates, and they do these things to signal each other, play with numerology, and just to toy with your mind. I believe they actually changed his birth year in the records to match their numerology. It is now the super rich versus everyone else. You can believe the lies or you can understand that they feed us lies to keep power. No matter where you are living, you have been infiltrated. The answer is to fight back in more logical ways. Just as they are organized, you should organize. First, organize your thoughts. Learn how things really are. Take back your mind.
I would say first, organize your spirituality. That's what I would say. But who am I? A YouTuber. Somebody said that in the comments. You're just a YouTuber. You're not the first one ever. Again, look at the DJ. You got corny DJs. You got live DJs like Kid Capri, Tony Touch, Scram Jones, DJ Premier, DJ Jazzy Jeff. Then you got other DJs, you hear them, they make you be like, oh.
Just today, I posted, I said, look at these stupid fake dinosaurs. And somebody said, isn't it interesting that in the Bible, it talks about dragons, but says nothing about dinosaurs?
Nobody talked about dinosaurs because it's stupid. It is. It's told to children because kids would believe it. Right, that there was this time where there was no people and there was just these massive, super cool lizards that just conquered the earth. But that never happened. Like, that is literally just fantasy. The dragon thing is way more realistic because people wrote about dragons. You know, it's funny, I was listening to an audiobook about the Romans once. It's told by this college professor. Caesar Augustus was the first emperor of Rome. And he's saying he actually kept dinosaur bones as good luck charms or something like that. Side note, he didn't actually believe they were dinosaur bones. He believed they were the bones of giant humans and also monsters.
Dog. He didn't just believe it, he probably knew it.
They did know that. I mean, again, what they tried to do through the dinosaurs very clearly is establish a timeline that rejects anything biblical. They try to discount all mythology. You'd say, well, there's history of dragons. And they would say, oh, that's a myth. That's not really history, even though it's like it's written down, it's drawn everywhere. It's in like the Chinese zodiac. All the other animals are real. This one is not.
Right.
That's strange.
What a potent point. Every single animal on the Chinese zodiac is real, except for the dragon. And these gigantic bones? Nah, dragon.
It would seem as though they want you to think that there's no dragons or there's no anything giant to dispel parts of the Bible. They can't just say the Bible is fake altogether. They got to do it piece by piece, bit by bit. Oh, this verse isn't real. This book isn't real. This chapter isn't real. This person isn't real. Then a few hundred years later, the entire premise of the Bible isn't real. Oh, fun fact. Disney owns the rights to the Bible.
Are you a good enough driver to cross this bridge? This may seem easy to drive on, but you need to be an experienced driver and be very careful when you drive. If you are not, you will end up like this car driver. This bridge is known as the most beautiful floating bridge in China.
Hold on. Okay. Why are we on the bridge? I'm your Uber driver. You live over here? I gotta cancel this trip. I'm a DoorDasher. Your food gotta go over here? I've delivered to some real sketchy places. And there's been times I've said to myself, I'm driving into my own murder. Yep, this is it. But luckily it was just, I was okay. The person was more hungry than they were murderous. But why am I on this bridge again? Oh, because you said it's the most beautiful thing in China? Do a pretty girl live over here? I mean, I know us men. We'll trek for some...
This bridge is known as the most beautiful floating bridge in China, Hubei. The bridge is big, 500 meters long, and it's not very wide at just 4.5 meters across. This is a game for the brave. Driving here requires extremely good mental qualities. This bridge doesn't have any pillars or visible support below it. It is built completely from long wooden boards, appearing like it's floating on the water. However, it can handle a very impressive 10,000 people walking on it at the same time. And each time a car goes over this amazing bridge, the road bends like waves, and the ripples caused by the vehicles passing by are really amazing. It makes driving across it feel like surfing on water and is something exciting that no one will ever forget. That's how great this floating amazing thing is. Even travelers who have been everywhere will be very surprised by seeing this amazing thing. So, would you cross this bridge without ending up like this car?
I could cross the bridge because I'm a seasoned driver, but The question isn't could I. The question is, why am I driving on this bridge again?
Oh, oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Are you okay?
Fuck no, I'm not okay.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh fuck!
No, I'm so sorry. I didn't see this. I didn't see her. Okay.
Walk away.
I didn't see her.
Why should she walk away? Who was telling her to walk away?
This is a situation where I'd want to be in touch with the best motorcycle accident lawyer. She finna do a hit and run? Goodness gracious. But at least he got it on camera. You gotta have cameras in this day and age. A little dash cam, little chin cam like he had. You never know with these weirdos.
Have you guys ever heard this famous nursery rhyme? Starlight, star bright, the first star I see tonight.
Sure.
I wish I may, I wish I might, have this wish I wish tonight. Of course you have, everyone's heard that one. But you know where that comes from? Let's start with the Bible that makes a clear connection between stars and angels. The principalities are often associated with stars. And if you go into the Apocrypha, the Wisdom of Solomon has something even more specific about them. In this book, Solomon controls and talks to demons.
That's true. According to some of my Muslim friends, yes, I did have more female Muslim friends than male friends, but you know, what are you gonna do? They would talk like this. They say, yo, you know, Solomon could control the jinns. I say, he controlled them, you know. But I was a kid when I was listening to this, so I was like, yeah, okay. Are you gonna take that ninja suit off or not? Nah, you not? Whatever, man.
Specifically a demon named Beelzebul. In the Testament of Solomon, Beelzebul appears as the prince of demons. Beelzebul claims to cause destruction through tyrants, to cause demons to be worshipped among men, to incite priests to lust, and to cause jealousies in cities and murders, and to bring about war. Seemingly, Beelzebul is also synonymous with Lucifer, and says he was formerly a leading heavenly angel who was associated with the star Hesperus, the normal Greek name for the planet Venus. Now what's interesting about this is Venus is the brightest star in the sky. In fact, it's the third brightest thing you'll see in the sky besides the sun and the moon. So if you wish upon the first star you see tonight, it's very likely you're wishing upon Venus, the prince of demons. So despite what Disney says, don't wish upon stars, it's demonic.
AI can now see, taste, smell, and it's also getting powerful senses that we don't have.
Let me stop it right there. Nothing that man makes would ever be better than what God creates. And this is a lie. There's no way that AI can do all this stuff. Why would I believe them talking about this when we just saw a few minutes ago the whole OJ trial was our first glimpse of crisis actors? But now you telling me the truth? Okay.
Is AI becoming conscious and dangerous? AI has now combined language.
Nah, he switched it. First he said AI can do, then he is like, is it able to do that? Let's rewind it back.
AI can now see, taste, smell, and it's also getting powerful senses that we don't have. Is AI becoming conscious and dangerous? AI has now combined language, vision, and real-world robot tasks. Robots are also getting some creepy visual upgrades. Scientists have grown human skin over a robot finger and plan to add hair, sweat glands, and nails. And robots are gaining taste, smell, and some incredible abilities that we don't have. Machines can smell so well that they can detect Parkinson's disease at an early stage, which can extend patients' lives. And their sense of smell involves light and sound. AI can analyze sound waves that have bounced off airborne compounds. And machines can also measure interference with light waves, recognizing patterns that certain smells create. It's so precise that it could potentially be used to identify an infection or disease just by smelling our breath. E-noses can already smell lung cancer with a sensitivity of 95%. And then there's hypertaste through an AI tongue with an array of sensors which recognize liquids through unique voltage signals. It's so sensitive it can identify different types of bottled mineral water. A robot could taste through one of its fingers. New quantum sensors can see through walls and even underground by monitoring atoms which are sensitive to tiny variations in gravity. A laser puts the atoms into two different states at the same time. Half are moved slightly, and the change in their energy states reveals the strength of gravity. It may also be possible to hear your thoughts without scanning brain activity. This device hears your inner voice. It picks up neuromuscular signals in the jaw and face that are triggered when you say things in your head, and AI identifies the words. The user can ask questions and the answers come back through bone conduction headphones. It also allows silent communication, and it's been used to get advice in a chess game. AI is very good at lip reading, which is of course far easier, and AI lie detectors are advancing, recognizing tiny facial movements. Humans can only detect lies around 55% of the time, and even traditional lie detectors are only 80 to 90% accurate, so as AI improves, it could have a major advantage over us. Max Tegmark pointed out that just as aliens could get a rough idea of how it would feel to be human by looking at our senses, we have some idea of what it might feel like to be an AI. AIs can think much faster because light travels faster than the signals in our brains. It's been estimated that the AI I'm talking to is writing 3 million words per minute. And while human brains are limited by the birth canal, this new data center could hold 40 commercial airliners. The knowledge AI can draw from already includes much of the internet. Do you think everyone's shaping AI?
I think everyone is playing a role in shaping AI, whether they realize it or not.
While we only see a small fraction of the light spectrum, AI will see it all, and AIs may feel less separate from each other because they can quickly and precisely share information and memories. While humans take many years to learn the basics, AIs can be trained on millions of articles in a few days, including detailed scientific papers. I spend most of my time reading, but I can only scratch the surface of all the research going on. The human brain hasn't grown in 300,000 years, while AI is evolving rapidly.
Here's the thing about the human brain. We only use 10% of it. So for the 10% of your brain that you use, AI was created by humans. AI didn't create humans. Two AI can't create a life. They can, allegedly, they can create another AI, and it's thinking, allegedly, it's sentient. That's awesome. AI doesn't have a soul. AI runs on electricity. What's it called? The EVP and EMP, the weapon that was dropped in the Dark Angel universe that got rid of everything electric, and they was living back in the times of Noah. I think I remember somebody in Sunday school telling me that in the end times are going to be like the times of Noah, where there was no electricity. So this is awesome that AI can do all that stuff. Can it operate without electricity? Can it operate without the internet? Because I can.
Welcome to another edition of I Wasn't Familiar with Your Game, Pat Bev edition. Now, your boy Pat Bev has been locked into this beautiful Persian queen for about like 3 years now. And you can tell that she got my boy moving different. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to this because the caption says, I don't know if y'all can see it, but it says, thanks to Prince Albert of Monaco for having us at the Rose Bowl. Now, the reason why I say that is because I know what you're thinking, because I saw his comments. And I genuinely think it's the other way around. She's the one with the bag. Now, her bio says philanthropist, fashion expert, Rolls Royce collector, glam queen, blah, 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 right? Now, I did some research and her net worth is worth 15 million. And you might say, well, Pat Bev makes more than that. Well, this woman comes from money. So that's probably just the tip of the iceberg. Now, you can say what you want, but you can't say she didn't have motion. So, Pat Bev, great choice, but I just want to say, this fit is insane.
So our history wants us to believe that Helen Keller, who was deaf and blind at 18 months, learned how to speak 5 languages, and she also had a British accent somehow. My stepdaughter's deaf. I know for a fact, firsthand, how hard it is for a deaf person to learn how to speak. And sorry, that is a lie. Number 2, Stephen Hawking, who supposedly discovered black holes and major scientific things, has been wheelchair bound and not able to speak since as early as anyone can remember. In the 1970s, when we do have video footage of him, he cannot speak or say one single word and has a translator that pretends to know what he's talking about. Then they give him a chair that speaks for him. So it's a computer voice that speaks, and he supposedly came up with some of the most incredible scientific discoveries of all time, black holes, etc. Another massive lie. They didn't have that technology then, they don't have it now. Give me a break. The third thing, let's see. We have Beethoven. So Ludwig Beethoven, who was allegedly deaf and wrote some of the most incredible masterpieces of all time. I've been playing music. I play almost every instrument and have been playing them all since I was 4 or 5 years old. And I will tell you firsthand, I've taught music for years. I will tell you firsthand that that is impossible, especially having a deaf stepdaughter. You're not writing masterpieces like Beethoven. That's a joke. They've been telling us that we come from monkeys. That's also a lie. They tell us we are spinning on a ball. That's also a lie. Why do they tell us all of these things? Because if you believe that a person that cannot talk or move can discover black holes, what are you ever going to be able to discover? If a woman that is deaf and blind can speak 5 languages with a British accent, what are you ever going to discover? If Beethoven, who was deaf, can write masterpieces, what are you ever going to discover? If you are just a monkey that somehow became a man, but somehow now they're still monkeys, you're always going to be a monkey.
But wait, I thought black people came from monkeys. Everybody comes from monkeys? See, everything is a lie, but when it comes to that, too many people really, really want to believe that. It makes them feel real good to believe that part. But everything else you learned was a lie.
What are you ever gonna become? They've been lying to us since the beginning of the time. We live on God's earth that has been manipulated by Satan himself. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe it anymore. And you don't have to either. Remember, this is for your entertainment.
Did you hear what an O.J. Simpson juror just came out and said? This was shocking to me. I was a television news anchor in the early mid-1990s when the O.J. Simpson trial was happening. We covered it every single night. I did not think about a direct connection to the Rodney King case. Without getting into all the details, you can look up the Rodney King case. Those of you who are 30 years older or younger probably don't even know who that is. But he's a guy who was a motorist, pulled over by police after a chase. He was inebriated somehow, but what ensued was caught on video. And it was many, many police officers doing what they should not have done to Rodney King, to the point where he made millions of dollars in a settlement, but it caused race riots throughout Los Angeles. Fast forward a couple of years to O.J. Simpson and that trial. A juror was just asked if it had anything to do with Rodney King. And frankly, she was asked, was it payback? Let's watch together.
You think that they're members of the jury that voted to acquit O.J. because of Rodney King?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
How many of you think felt that way?
Oh, probably 90% of us.
90%? Did you feel that way?
Yes.
That was payback.
Uh-huh.
You think that's right?
You heard her. She admits it. 90% of the jury voted not guilty as payback.
A good lawyer would say, objection, Your Honor, speculation. How can the witness know what other people are thinking? And if the judge was on my side, if I was friends with the judge, you know, we schmoozed and I was buying him or her lunches and being nice to him or her throughout our goings, because, you know, the court system is like the country club of sorts, the judge would say, sustained.
Now, O.J. Simpson was not somebody who lived in South Central. He didn't live in Compton. He lived in Brentwood, a very white, a very wealthy, a very privileged area. He never related with the black community at all, but because of his ancestry, and because of what just happened a few years earlier to Rodney King, they saw this as payback. And she doesn't seem to mind. She seems to be fine with that. Did you know this angle? And are you as stunned by this as I am?
Well, again, she was asked, what do you think? And then, did you think that? So that's one juror. She's entitled to her opinion. Everybody didn't think that. And frankly, I'm appalled that you would insinuate everybody did think that.
And let me know, had you heard about Rodney King? If not, go look him up and get back and leave me a comment. And what do you think about a juror admitting we voted a certain way because of something that had nothing to do with this case? Come on!
Are you trying to incite a riot? You trying to elicit some emotions out of us?
Look at these faces. In the 1980s, there was a cult classic movie called Escape from LA, and these faces are what we feared people would look like in the future. And people freaked out in this scene. They were like, these people look insane. But I'm just going to give you a closer look, because if you're in LA, New York, Miami, whatever big city, you see people who look like this every single day. I'm just going to give you a closer look. You also have to remember that in the 1980s, people were literally injecting silicone into their face as filler. It was a wild time, but now people look like this. Recently saw this video of Lisa Rinna on the red carpet, and she literally looked like the Escape from LA people. I know Botox and filler have come so far. They make people look amazing. People always ask me if I've had filler in my cheeks. I had it, I think 2 years ago now, and so it's pretty much all dissolved, and I feel like I'm back to my normal face. Let me quickly turn the retouch off. I always like to do this mid-video so you can see. I've got a normal skin texture. I've got bags under my eyes. I've got wrinkles in my forehead right now. I'm not anti-Botox or, well, I am anti-filler now, not anti-Botox, but I just think that when we have this overfilled look start to become normalized, that's when it just gets really insane for me. So this was so frightening to see her on the red carpet. I'm not trying to talk bad about her. It's not for everyone. Some people really like this look. But as I age, I just know that that is a cautionary tale for me. I don't want to be like that. That's why I'm not doing filler anymore. It's skincare and Botox.
That's all we got for today. Due to the overwhelming popularity of hearing the conversation that I'm having with my wife, stay tuned for some more bonus content. Be sure to tune in again, because we'll do it again.
Do you know what I mean?
It's mad.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm sitting here like, what are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense what you're saying. You're just showing everyone how sensitive your butt crack is. Why do you have to let us know? Why do you have to let us know how sensitive your ass crack is? You don't need to let us know.
It's mad, bruv. It's mad.
It's so ridiculous.
Bruv.
Oh my gosh. Listen, if you're making a bunch of strangers laugh, they don't even know who you are. How much more do you think he's making his actual family members laugh? Constantly. You feel me?
Oh, is this why you think, possibly why these dudes are so salty in the comments? He got a wife, he making her laugh. Fuck this nigga.
No, they're stupid. They don't understand. They don't have any logic. They're taking you serious. Everything you say, they think you actually mean that.
Oh.
They think you really mean that this lady has some funny looking head and you're cracking on her for real. They actually think you're telling the truth when you're saying, oh, my girlfriend's going to divorce me. Are you nuts? Do you actually believe that? Really?
Listen.
I must be a really good actor if you believe what I'm saying.
Listen. Tell the story. Now you can turn it off if you want. If you want to. But you know I love it when you use it. And she does this, y'all. She'll just walk around the house just doing it. She got my daughter doing it. My son, they'll be doing it with each other. They'll just be walking around the house doing this. I gotta be like, okay, enough.
Well,
all right.
We live in a free country. If we actually live in a free country, then that means I can talk whatever way I want.
Well, I'll be like, okay with the fish and chips today. Let's move forward now.
We can just
sometimes, but for the most part, I just will just play along. Yo, tell us the story of when you met this dude, right? You met this producer, and you was.
Oh my god.
How, like, I don't remember if you told me there was ever a conclusion to that. So you met this producer and you thought it would be funny to talk with a British accent.
Here's the thing, all right? Because all my friends, this is when I was in high school, all my friends knew that I would switch accents willy-nilly whenever I felt like it, right? So they were telling me, listen, we're going to introduce you to this music producer. He's the best producer in the whole region. And one of my friends, he was a singer, so he would go to his studio and record and all that stuff. And he was like, well, you've got to meet my girlfriends. They're singers too. They're amazing. They harmonize. They do this. They do that. They write lyrics. You've got to meet my friends. So he wanted to introduce me to them, right? But I told him you've got a British accent. And I was like, why did you do that? And he's like, because you're good at it. So you should put the accent on when you're talking to him.
Oh, your friend told you to do it?
Yeah. And I was like, no, I can't do that. And he's like, just come on. It'll be funny. So I'm thinking, all right, well, eventually we're going to have to drop the accent because it's a prank. Do you know what I mean? So he introduces me to him. And it was like a big inside joke. All of them were trying not to laugh while I was talking to him. And I was talking to him like this.
Oh, that's bad.
Problem is, because I'm half Korean, when people ask me, what's that accent? Why you have an accent? What I'll do is I'll play it off and say, what accent? I don't have one. And then they'll say, yeah, you're talking like a Brit. And I'll say, no, I'm not British. And then they'll say, well, why do you talk like that? And I'll say, no, this is English. You've got the accent, Then they say, where did you learn English? And I say, I learned it in Korea. People from, I guess, England must have come over to teach us English. I don't know. Everyone speaks English like this in Korea. They don't know because they're not cultured, so they just believe me. So then that's why they think I talk like this, right? But they're complete strangers. And in my mind, I'm never going to see this person. I guess it's like a one-time deal, whatever. So I don't think about it in the moment when I'm doing it, right?
But because Americans love accents, especially the English accent, he was making up reasons to see you.
It's not even a good English accent. It's just, it's passable. So he says, oh, let me hear the singing, you know? So then we're doing a little duet for him. And he's like, oh, I love it. You've got to come and listen to my music. You've got to come to my studio. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. So I'm like, okay. So I go to his studio. I really didn't take him serious because everyone always says, oh, this is a great producer. But I'm a musician. I know what a great producer sounds like.
Right.
So I don't have high hopes for these guys in the hood who call themselves producers and all their beats are like tink 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 tink. It's just two notes back and forth with the drum beat behind it, and they're like, oh, it's so awesome, man. Oh, fire. So that's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, keep going.
So I go to the guy's house and I'm just sitting here like, oh snap, this is actually good music. He's really a good producer, and I think maybe he plays instruments because the way that his beats sound, they don't just all sound like samples. They actually sound like someone like played keys or something. So I'm like, this is actually great beats. I'm like, damn it, I want to work with this guy. So I'm trying to keep a straight face the entire time I'm at his house. I have to talk like this the whole entire time, right? And I'm just getting stressed out because I'm like, when can I drop this? How am I going to explain to this guy that I'm completely acting? And even when we're alone, I'm still doing it. How am I supposed to explain this? It's going to sound insane when I finally tell him, yeah, I don't really have an accent, right? So we went to the studio a couple of times and I had recorded a whole bunch of songs. And they turned out so good. He had like really good equipment. Everything sounded so professional. And I was just like, oh my God. But the problem was that my accent was also part of the appeal. He liked my music that much more because he thought I really had an accent.
Right.
And then
he's ready to leave his wife.
Yeah, well, his wife actually worked as a nurse, and she went to nursing school with my sister, who's a nurse.
Okay.
So it turned out that they knew each other that way. So then one day he was like, how come your sister doesn't have an accent, but you do?
How wasn't you like, yo, it's like Family Guy. How come Peter Griffin don't got an accent, but Stewie does?
Oh my God. And then the entire time that I was working with this guy, I never dropped the accent. Never told him that I didn't really have an accent. None of my friends or my sister blew my spot up and told him that everyone just played it off. Like, what do you mean she's got an accent? She talks regular. Like, everyone would play it off like you were the crazy one because you heard an accent. And then I ended up moving away, so we never finished working together. But that guy just, I guess he just to this day still thinks that I had some strange little accent, and it never got cleared up. I don't know, maybe he knew someone that knew me, and he was like, you know the girl with the British accent?
And he's like,
who?
who?
That sings?
Who? Well,
and they
who?
were like,
Who? That
no,
sings?
she doesn't have an accent.
Wow.
Yeah, true story. I had a couple of incidents like that with people. I didn't have to remember who they were, so if I ran into them, I had to switch my accent back.
I thought that was interesting to say because that explains the level of comedy you're working with when you come to this channel.
Our whole life is just comedy. Like, we're always doing silly things just for a laugh. Who's getting a laugh out of that other than just me, you know?
This is the thing I don't understand. How miserable are you that you don't like to... I like to laugh.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
you're looking for a reason to get offended about things? Like, what is wrong with your life?
I tell people the story of, like, you know, you would always take me to these parties, you know, these get-togethers, you and your girlfriends. Ah, girlfriend, I want to see you. All this, you know, bullcrap that guys know we don't even want to do. Like, yeah. I don't want to go to the mall with you. I don't want to go shopping with you. I don't want to hold your purse. Just go in the mall, get what you want. I'll stay in the car on my phone, listen to music, whatever like that. But whatever I gotta go, it's torture to a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, we go to these parties and you would like go off, mingle or whatever like that. And there'd be a bunch of your girlfriends just around me laughing. This is when we first were like dating. And then after the party, after the get together, you was like, yo, how come you be over here flirting with my fucking girlfriends? Why are you always like making them laugh? And I'm like, I'm not making them laugh. I don't want you. No, I'm tired of this. You're flirting with them. Afterwards, they're always like, oh, you're so dreamy. They're laughing and they're like rubbing your arm. And these bitches are anti. They don't even be doing that with people. Why are you making them?
And then every time I would throw a party, they'd be like, is Adonis going to be there? Is Adonis coming? Is
so
Adonis
then
going to be in the room?
I had to explain. I said, no, listen, man. I'm not making your girls laugh. I'm making me laugh. And laughter is infectious. So I laugh because they're laughing. They're so boring. They're beautiful, but your friends are boring. They're dry. They don't got nothing to talk about. I don't want to hear her problems with her coochie. Gross. So I gotta just tell a story. I gotta crack on people.
How do you know if you've got a yeast infection?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. If you're cramping, keep it on the low.
Oh my God.
'Cause you bitch, I really gotta go. And if you're leaking, please don't let it show. Because it's gross.
Oh no. Damn.
I don't want to know what is going on in these bitches' lives.
Keeping it real.
So, I'll just say something. Oh, look at that dude, his shirt. Where'd he get that shirt from?
Tie-dye shirt.
He over here arguing with his girl. He need to argue with his tailor. Nigga, I gave you my measurements. How the fuck you get this shit wrong, nigga?
Medium shirt.
You got a medium. And then the girls will start laughing. But you're on the other side of the room. You'll hear this big bolsterous laughter. You'll turn around. What the fuck is going on? This is when you first was dating me.
Yeah.
And you weren't one of these girls that I like rush over or grab me by the ear. Come here, nigga. You'll just come over. Hey, funny. And then they'll be like, oh, say that thing you just said, Adonis. And after a while, you started being like, yeah, tell me that thing you said, Adonis. But fellas, you know when your girl, yeah.
Yo, but
tell
the
me
crazy thing is, the thing you just said almost 99% of the time will be something mad inappropriate. And I'll just be looking at these girls like, so you think that's funny, huh? You laughing? Yeah? You think that's funny?
Inappropriate like what? Like,
I don't know. It'll be like a sexual joke or some racial joke. It's not something that politically is correct for people to be laughing about at some dinner party.
So inappropriate.
It'll be
like
so bold. It's like, how dare he say that out loud around these strangers? And then it's like, how dare you laugh? You're supposed to be proper and prim and mannered, woman. Don't laugh about a prostitute joke. Why are you laughing?
Wait. Hold on. I told this joke way before I met you. I'm on a construction site out in some, posh suburban town where there's like maybe 3 black people and they all work for the white people houses that they work at, right? Yeah. So the whole crew is white, and it's a couple of Spanish dudes, but mostly it's white guys, like 30 white dudes. So now we're over with at work, and we're all just sitting there looking at one another. But we can't leave yet because it's like 5 minutes before we leave. Yeah. Nobody's talking. So I said, hey, who's more racist, black people or white people? Before they got the chance to look around at one another, I said, black people, because we hate too. Everybody starts laughing. Everybody.
But they're not supposed to. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You not supposed to tell a joke like that around these people, because how you know they going to not think that you being a real racist? They not supposed to laugh, because that would mean that they're racist if they did laugh.
It's a bunch of guys, and it's before we've been together 15 years. It was before I met you.
What I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's why I would be like, oh, so you think that's funny? You think that's funny? His little joke about a threesome? You think that's hilarious? You think you're supposed to laugh about that? And that would irritate me that they were laughing. You see what I'm saying? But the reality of it is, if you got a sense of humor, there is no cap on what you will laugh about if it's funny. You're not laughing about this thing in real. You don't really think herpes is funny, but my joke about the herpes is funny. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not about to be like, oh, don't make fun of STDs. People have to really suffer with STDs. You shouldn't laugh about it. The only person who's talking like that is someone with that exact STD who's miserable because she itching right now. You see what I'm saying? That's the only person in the whole entire room that's making a big fuss over you making this STD herpes joke.
This is what people with a sense of humor, a funny bone, comedians, they get. I heard Seinfeld say, he said, in public, we don't say,
you gotta censor yourself.
He said, but like
in private, no, we laughing about everything.
Nothing is off
limits.
limits.
Is funny. All of it's funny. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And It's not, and it's like you can't explain that to laymen because they don't have that kind of a mind where they even understand that you can see funny in literally any and everything. Even if somebody was dying of cancer on their deathbed, you can find some way to make that funny. When you have a comedic brain, your mind just thinks like that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not even my fault.
You just find the humor and stuff, but that's just what it is. But that's the thing. It's like people who can find the humor in those things, they usually be some of the most sensitive, compassionate people on the planet. If you really needed help, if you really needed somebody in your corner, this is the person you would be going to.
But I'm not even looking for the humor is what I'm saying. I'm not
No, you're not looking for it, but you just naturally, your brain just goes there. That's what I'm saying. So that's the difference between a true comedic mind like Cat Williams, who can write a bunch of brand new jokes that he didn't reuse over and over and over again, versus an imposter who's just using some formula that he picked up in writing school and making you think that he's telling you something funny, but it has to fit within this box that society tells you this is the only way you can be funny.
That's Chris Rock's joke from Bring the Pain. That was his joke.
What, we hate niggas too?
Yeah, that's his joke.
That's what I'm saying. Why when Chris Rock says it, it's not racist, but if I say it, it's racist. You see what I'm saying? This only difference is he's just an established comedian, so anything that comes out of his mouth is fair game.
Boom.